But kicking things off today, we've seen some interesting market situations playing out over the course of 2020. And as the year comes to a close, a few of our regular market analysts share what they're watching ahead into 2021. And if our trade relationship with China was a big headline this year, two of our analysts in DTN's Todd Holtman and Central Valley Ag's Luke Beckman believe that in 2021, the country will continue to make headlines in agriculture.
I think everything is about China because they are such a big potential buyer here. There's so little that we know about them internally. They just remain the big question mark and continue to capture our attention. The problem of trade with China is no easy solution, as we've discovered. So just because we have a new administration, that doesn't mean that there's going to be an easy solution there either.
Well, from a prediction standpoint, I have a prediction that China is going to be a more meaningful buyer of U.S. ethanol. I think as you look at phase one obligations, they need to purchase something to get their totals up. I believe ethanol is going to be part of that mix. And we've already seen them take a few vessels of ethanol. I think that's a more meaningful story in 2021. So I do believe that's a positive.
Luke adds, we've seen many positives in agriculture as of late, but it's always important to stay vigilant.
As far as 2021 in general, the marketplace has seen this tremendous rally in our row crops and our commodities. The U.S. dollar is headed lower. There's talks of inflation, all positives for U.S. ag. The thing producers need to remember, of course, is that this price signal, this carrot, is being offered to every farmer in the world. And the U.S. farmer does a great job of responding to this type of price behavior. So we are going to get acres in 2021 in a big way as producers eye an opportunity, to make a profit. So don't take these prices for granted. It feels like the predominant theme today is everybody's bullish and all the market can do is go up. So I want to caution people on that. Use sound risk management principles, know what it costs to produce your crop. And when you have profitable opportunities, sell in percentages. You don't have to be 100% this way or 100% that way. Diversify your risk, sell in percentages, and stay disciplined because just as COVID came around and was a black swan that we didn't see coming, you could have another bearish event that could take us the other way.
Moving to the livestock sector, and UNL livestock analyst Elliot Dennis says policy issues affecting cattle could make waves for Nebraska producers.
Probably the biggest thing that I'm going to be interested in watching is some of the policy issues that are happening from a more national level. There's currently proposals that have been out in Congress to change the way that cattle are marketed. That's had some industry support and also some industry modifications. That's what I'm going to be watching. That has potential large, really huge implications for the industry, how we sell and market fed cattle in particular. I'm going to be watching how that plays out and whether there's modifications to those policies and how those essentially trickle down to Nebraska producers.
Finally, if 2020 has taught us anything, it's to expect the unexpected. Iowa State livestock economist Lee Schultz says that planning for long-term is key.
Well, I'm going to throw you maybe a little bit of a curveball. So I think, we're going to continue to watch the markets, right? And don't assume anything. I think it's a big thing, right? If 2021 taught us anything going into the year, our expectations were much different than reality. Now that always happens when you're an analyst, but really that was a big difference. What I'm going to put out there is we need to start thinking about 2022 and beyond. And I think it's important from a hog industry standpoint we've gone through a huge expansionary phase, which was driven by very strong pork exports. Now, I think we expect those exports short term to really remain in place. But as China rebuilds their hog herd, do we start to see exports wane potentially and still be very strong levels, but maybe not have the large demand pull that they've had the last several years? In the cattle industry, I think we're entering kind of that downturn in the cattle cycle, and potentially stronger prices, but prices that may not be profitable for all producers. So not just looking at 2021, I think that's going to be a recovery year just from a pure pricing standpoint. Prices are going to be better, but costs could be a little bit higher. But let's think about this from a long-term situation. We had a huge shock to production agriculture, right? And I think that what it taught us is it's multi-year in our planning process.
Thanks to all of our analysts for their insight. You'll be seeing them all again as we bring you the latest market developments throughout 2021.